What's up, everybody? I'm Jay, and this is Rising CPA.
3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
These are the top 8 things I would not recommend to prepare for the CPA exam. Alright guys, so we at the top 8 things we would not recommend to prepare for that CPA license. So let's get right to it, guys. I just want to show you this picture right here. Go back, go back. So I just thought it was funny, the sign, the go back sign, because really it's when you're preparing for the CPA exam, it's just so much material. You don't know what you should study for and what you should. So anyways, let's go to that list. Number 8, how much time should you use on blueprints? Do not waste too much time on blueprints. I repeat, do not waste too much time on blueprints. As I mentioned on my other videos, blueprints are not updated as frequently as the AICPA claims. And we all know when things are not updated, they're not representative of what the task we have in hand. Number 7, avoid taking too many or changing your notes. The reason I say this is because the CPA exam is pretty much like a memory exam. So you need to try to memorize all the notes you take. So the more you change your notes, the harder it gets to memorize these notes. So try the best you can. The first time you take your notes, you take the best notes you can. Okay, guys, that's number 7. And like in all my videos, feel free to pause the video and read the slides thoroughly over and over 100 times if you need to, as long as you understand the point of each slide and each number. All right, guys, so we're going to number 6. Number 6, social media CPA studying advice. Caution. So the reason I say this, there's a lot of good advice on social media like YouTube, Facebook, Reddit, different CPA websites. But like me in the beginning, I saw so much advice from different candidates. I try to stick to people who pass the CPA exam the first try, but this advice can be a little biased because we don't know what school they went to, how they studied, how their grades were they top of their class. So the point that I'm trying to make is their strategy might not work for you. So this is why I'm saying caution with social media advice. Yeah, you can take some tips, but do not think what worked for one person will work for you. Okay, guys? So just keep that in mind. That was number 6. Number 5, Becker flashcards. These are a waste of time, at least for the FAR exam. Do not waste your time reading flashcards. There's too much information, too much detailed information that revolve around this exam. And quite honestly, if you see the amount of Becker flashcards they give you, it's crazy. I rather reread my notes over and over again and make sure that I'm looking at example MCQ for each topic or problem that I'm reading the notes for, rather than read 3 sentences off a certain topic. You're bound to remember the actual module. You're gonna remember the key definitions. So I don't think these Becker flashcards are effective whatsoever. I just think it's a bonus when you pay for the platinum or whatever they call it, the VIP package. Number 4, Becker Unlimited MCQs. Do not take Unlimited MCQs until you finish with at least one mock. And personally, I will not take notes on them. The reason why I wouldn't take notes on the Unlimited MCQs is because they provide very vague answers. And they don't fully explain the answer for that MCQ. I found it that I wasted so much time just trying to contact academic support, trying to get an answer for a very simple topic when they could have easily just answered that on their explanation. But for some reason, they didn't, and they try to give me the long explanation. So I wouldn't waste time taking notes on these Unlimited MCQs. I'll take them as practice after I do the first mock. Number 3, writing versus typing notes. Writing versus typing notes is a large debate online. A lot of people like to type, a lot of people like to write. I say forget about writing, handwriting notes. Do not handwrite your notes. Instead, type them. Why? It's easier to review or edit something you need more clarity or need to correct later down the line. Remember I said try not to edit your notes as often as some people do, because you want to retain this information. The first time you write these notes, you want to remember it that way. You don't want to keep changing it and changing it and changing it. But the good thing about typing your notes is that they're so clear, it's not hard to read. And I'll say that I would do two things. I'll do typing notes for the entire lecture, for let's say the whole book of FAR, and then I'll do writing in the final book, review book. And the writing is in the corner on the side of the book. You guys see the little line they draw on the side? I'll write some important key points, and then I'll use the highlighters just to highlight on the multiple choice questions, example multiple choice questions, just to know exactly where that number came from, or retrace where on that page that information came from, so I can easily go through the notes. So that was number 3, writing versus typing. Use typing when you're doing the lectures, and you can use a little bit of handwriting, not too much, towards the end, which is during the final book review. Okay, and make sure you do the final book review. Is very helpful. Number 2, scheduling your CPA exam. Do not schedule your appointment until you take your first mock exam. This was my mistake the first time. I didn't take any mocks. I know, sounds crazy, but I had to because of certain events that were coming up, and I've been studying for at least 2 months and a half, so I felt like I was ready, but not really, because I didn't take the mocks. So I just decided to do it because of the continuous testing. I didn't have any limitations to retake it. So yeah, that's why I failed the first time. But do not schedule your appointment, especially if it's your first time, until you take your first mock and you know where you're at, okay? Number one. We're finally here. Simulations. Do not attempt the simulations before you fully understand the material or finish all the modules for that section. The reason I say this is because completing a 10 to 15 minute simulation will take you forever, and I'm not even exaggerating. It will take you about a good hour. Seriously, if you don't know what the hell you're reading, it's gonna take you about 45 to an hour just to complete one simulation, and you don't have time to waste when you're reviewing and studying this material. So please do not do these simulations until you have reviewed these notes over and over for at least a full week, and you're more familiar with the content and information. Right? Let that simmer, let that marinate in your brain. So then when you go and do these simulations, now you're ready to go do these simulations. Now when you're reading, you're not lost, like, what does this mean? You know, there's going to be an obstacle in every paragraph every time you try to do a simulation. Simulations have so much information. Anyways, guys, hope you guys liked the video. These were the things I would not recommend to prepare for the CPA exam, specifically the FAR exam. So comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Good luck on your exam, guys.